Yeah, Jeff, the players that came out of protocol the last couple of days, will they be available tomorrow?
The game is ultimately, I think it's coming out here in a few minutes. The game will be postponed tomorrow. We're not traveling today, and the game's postponed tomorrow.
Well,
So breaking news.
yeah, thanks.
Make sure you credit me. Make sure you credit me. Per.
No, I mean, say unnamed source.
Yeah, no, there you go. There you go. Yeah. So, yeah.
So what's the plan then as far as practice next 2 days?
We'll practice the next 2 days. You know, certain players that have been going every day, depending on some certain things, might have a chance to not skate tomorrow, but we'll definitely skate tomorrow. There's some guys that haven't skated at all. Some guys have been skating since Sunday. You know, so we'll practice and then we'll have a fuller practice Thursday. Everybody that's going to be available to us Friday, as we sit here today, will be also available Thursday. And we expect to have a few more guys out of protocol by that point. And so, you know, that gives us a chance to practice as a full team on Thursday.
Now, I'm assuming it was postponed because of the Islanders.
Yeah, my understanding is that, you know, Steve Eisman called me and alerted me to it. Just basically before we're going on the ice. So my understanding is I know the Islanders had another, I believe Brock Nelson went into COVID protocol. So I'm not sure all the factors that went into it. That'd be a question for the league. Good luck with that one.
Next, Bolton.
Jeff, you guys have kind of had this reset here. Is there an area or two that you have circled for the team that you really want to see them, you know, emphasize or refocus on?
I'd start by saying it's not as much of a reset as you would like, in a sense that you got to be cognizant of the number of players that you're missing that are going to be regulars for you. So it's not like you can see, okay, on Monday we're doing this and that's going to get in everybody's head, and Tuesday we're doing this, and because a lot of guys aren't here yet, you know what I mean? And so, you know, so that's where I'd start. So it's a little different than if you know, we had a break and you know, coming out of the Olympic break and you have your whole team and you're ready to go, you know, so that part's different. I don't even know what to compare it to. It's a little bit like the end of training camp when you have a lot of players that can't practice and you're running a little short on, you know, and you're trying to introduce some things, but you got to be cognizant of the fact that there's guys that aren't getting that message either. You know, we're having the practice habits installed. I think the bigger question I mean, you know, beyond that, for us, ultimately, you know, we need to limit scoring chances. I think, you know, we haven't had a very good road record, but I also think, you know, some of those problems have been there at home and we've overcome them. So I think, you know, one thing through the course of the rest of the season that will have to be better for us to improve our record or even maintain our record is give up less chances. And so two areas on that I think are critical for us. One is the management of the puck, trying to learn, you know, when to make a play and when you can't make a play, and also learn, you know, how to push pucks up the wall with slash support so you can keep possession without making hope plays in the middle of the ice. So that would be one area. And the second area would be just continue to work on D-zone coverage and become great at it, and making sure we're not giving up great A chances in D-zone coverage. That's a big area.
On the point of like not giving up major chances, that was a strength for you guys a lot last year.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you noticed has been different, and obviously there's some different personnel?
Yeah, I think different personnel matter. You know, I think, you know, one of the things that we, with the roster turnover we had, there's some positives to it. And certainly, as I've said lots, there's been an influx in talent, so that helps you. But when you do have lots of roster turnover, you are starting anew every year. And so, you know, some of the habits within our system that were in place by the end of last year, you know, I thought we had done a pretty good job of I guess I'd call it being in the way, you know, always being in lanes, always being between the puck and the net, between your man and the net. And because of that, I thought we got pretty good at clogging up the middle part of the ice. You know, a number of those players in which those habits were instilled aren't there. So it's not year after year, we just boom, you roll it out and you're good at it again, you know, so we got to work at it. And you know, and again, I also would say, you know, the early part of I thought we were doing fine. And then we ran in that stretch. We just didn't practice much because how many games we're playing. So I think as, you know, there's zero excuse for sure moving forward. We just got to make sure we're good at it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Colleen St. James.
Jeff, were you, did you not find out until after you came off the ice, or kind of what's the timeline on finding this out?
I found out prior to going on the ice, just
Okay.
prior to going on the ice.
And had you guys already scheduled, it seems like you guys usually fly in the afternoon. Had you already scheduled to fly in later? Just because-
Yeah, we were flying at we were practicing at 2:30, flying at 5 regardless. That was already scheduled. We've changed that at times when the enhanced protocols limit your ability to go out to dinner and that. So there's not as much need to get to the city as early. And then also this gave us opportunities with the potential of if somebody had tested negative the day before, potentially tested negative and being available for practice.
Okay. And just to be clear, if provided there are no more positives the rest of this week, will you have everyone out of protocol, except Nick Leddy? Would he be the only one? Because you said Raymond went in before Christmas, right? But it's my understanding.
Raymond, depending on protocol, depending on how it goes, Helene, Raymond right now would be the one guy, Raymond and Letty, that would not be available for New Year's Eve.
Okay. Okay. How much are you guys looking forward to playing again? I mean, just.
I was disappointed. I wanted to, obviously we're all managing with short rosters. So, I'm happy for the guys that haven't, had a chance that would have missed the game. They don't need to miss that game anymore. So I'm certainly happy for them, but personally I wanted to go play. I wanted to, go get going. So I think we're all anxious to play again. And I think we all understand that these are tough times and we just got to work through them. I
guess, everybody wants to play in the Olympics, but does it buy you some breathing room? Do you feel a little bit more comfortable about, I think it's up to 4 games for you guys now that you have to make up, that you do have that window in February, that there is some breathing room now because of that decision? Yeah,
I think ultimately was why I think the NHL put the clause in, that if the schedule was altered to the degree that it has been, that they had the ability to pull out. And, it does give us that time period of flexibility. I know there's already, I'm sure there's challenges with that, though. It's not like the buildings are all just sitting empty during that whole time. I mean, it was something that we, obviously buildings are in the business of trying to have booked events. And so there's challenges that we're all going to face moving forward. And some of us are going to end up with games that are on top of each other, that you would like to avoid. I mean, that was part of the reason I would have liked to play is I don't want to look, 2 weeks from now have to play every other day for 3 straight weeks and never practice. So, we'll see what happens. But again, it's out of our control.
What's your message to the team after you tell them that they're not going to be playing tomorrow after all?
My first thought when you said what's our message to the team is I'd like to have the team, but to and that's not to just, you'd like to have all your guys. I mean, it's hard to get, right. Again, that's part of the challenge and again, we're not alone. Everybody's facing it, but part of the challenge is you don't have your group in totality by any stretch. I just again said we weren't going to play and we weren't going to travel, but we need to get better today. And as we sit here today, we're playing on Friday. And so we got to make use of this time and make sure we're getting better in practice. And I thought the guys went out and had a good practice.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah.
Ted Colton.
I mean, to a certain extent though, Jeff, are you a little relieved that tomorrow's off the docket? I mean, it would have been, I think we've talked about it for the last 2 days. It would have been kind of fluid and kind of tricky. I mean, obviously you guys wouldn't have had your best roster out there either. Yeah,
if you told me at the beginning of the week that both New York games were canceled, I certainly would have understood it. And I not that I don't understand it, now I understand it. You got to the point where again, we were getting ready to practice, hop on a flight and go. We were just in game mode. So, I was disappointed from that aspect, but certainly, the challenge that we all face right now is, the rosters aren't, there's good, we have opportunity to call good players up, but people are missing lots of players and it's just not, really each other's teams at times that you're playing against and are playing with. So, listen, I don't know the answer. Nobody knows the answer to this. These are challenging times, and ultimately, I don't get paid to make those decisions. I get paid to make sure my team's ready and go out and try to win hockey games and get better as a group, and that's what we're going to do.
Hey, Jeff, specifically the goaltenders, are they kind of back to square one a little bit? I mean, they haven't seen anything, any shots or anything for a week, and just tracking the puck and all that kind of stuff. Are they going to take, is it going to take them a little extra time to get back to where they need to be, you think?
It's difficult for everybody knocking rust off.
Okay.
I thought today we passed the puck 1,000 times better than yesterday. So like just a couple days of skating helped our skaters. You know, Thomas Grace has been skating every day here. So he's been, you know, he's going to be a step ahead that way, you know, and how long it takes Ned to get his game back. He said it felt good. I know he worked hard when he was at home. He had, you know, he had the ability to do some stuff at home. He felt pretty good. So the timing of games is always difficult, you know, so they're going to have to feel it as they get back into games. You know, hopefully we can put them in enough game like drills that at least they get some, you know, I don't want to say experience, but kind of reacquainted with the different types of shots that they'll see.
Perfect. Thanks for this, Jeff.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. Be back shortly with Nelson and Aldovich.